What's up, guys? Can y'all see me okay? Let's get the... I think that's better. Let me know if y'all can see me and hear me okay. I'm trying to make sure the mic is connected appropriately. Appreciate everybody that's already in here. Big 12 opener, got a dub, guys. Got a dub. Are we good on sound? I'm just making sure the check. Okay, we're good on IG. What's up, guys? B. Simmons says I'm good. Thank you. All right. Cool. So, guys, right off the bat, 36-30 victory over Oklahoma State. Really excited for the fact, after since 2008, not beating them in DKR, finally taking care of Mike Gundy. Tom Herman finally getting, a win over Mike Gundy. He hadn't had that his first 2 years in the Big 12. Seeing how we handled Chuba Hubbard and Tylan Wallace, I thought we were very, very impressive regarding our defensive strategy. You have to give credit to Todd Orlando. He's been getting a lot of heat, specifically around LSU, but bouncing back. And, Chuba having, 37 carries for like $120. Tylan Wallace not even breaking 100 yards, who, right there with Jerry Jeudy for Biletnikoff. So overall, those are some of the things that just, really stand out to me. Good, guys. All right, perfect. Thank you. Looks like everybody said the audio is good on YouTube. Yeah, now we'll get to the special team stuff. We definitely, we allowed them so much, opportunity and margin, and I'm not sure, what the line of thinking was around some of the coaching decisions we saw, but I will give Tom Herman credit. He was critical of that himself, and I think he, made some emotional decisions throughout the game, which benefited Oklahoma State. But we have to talk about that. How's Joseph Osai's shoulder doing? I believe I know Jalen Green, we had some injuries here, but I think Joseph Osai was also struggling with the shoulder, so good timing on the bye week. We were very thin at DB on the low. I believe so. You're seeing Estelle play a lot. He had almost 10 tackles. We saw, Josh Thompson just has to play, right? Deshaun Jameson getting more opportunities to get out there. Anthony Cook, subbing in. So it was a platoon of guys, but I think Todd Orlando did a much better job of being conservative on the back end, helping all those guys out in terms of coverage. I like Jameson. I agree. I agree with who commented on that. You saw Caden Stearns playing a lot in the slot too. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. Chris Adamora was spectacular. Maybe not spectacular, but for all things considered, not being one of the more highly touted freshmen like some other guys. But again, those of you who've been blowing us up about recruiting guys out of state, he's one of the Cali kids that came over, and he made some plays yesterday. And Estelle made some plays, Chris Brown getting an interception. So, other guys stepping up from the less heralded guys like a BJ Foster or Marvion Overshawn. F still has to learn how to use his body. What's good, Longhorn recruiting? Just trying to read some of the comments. F still got to learn how to use his body, absolutely. He has all the talent in the world. He has a great frame. But you can tell he doesn't know how to shield yet. He doesn't know, even when jumping or anything for the ball like that. Now, he didn't get a whole lot of opportunities against Oklahoma State like he did in the Rice game. He did. He showed us some of those things, but he has to do that. That's also with young players is consistency. It's an issue. We'll get to Troy in a second. Let's talk about the game first. That was a big flip. No, we have a lot of guys get banged up. I actually think some guys are going to sit in the West Virginia game. Don't be surprised by that. We'll have some people sit in the West Virginia game as well. Yeah, it just takes time. Colin Johnson had a lot of those issues too, and you remember, and also struggles with consistency. It just takes time. I don't think anybody. Have I seen anyone in this chat apologize to Keontae Ingram? Where everybody was off the Keontae Ingram bandwagon, and I was over here saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's had one bad game. Let's give this young man an opportunity to redeem himself. Let's see this young man get healthier. Let's see this young man respond to adversity, respond to coaching. And we have to give Keontae Ingram some credit. I would like to hear you guys chime in on that, because everybody was so quick to beat him up, and he deserved heat, blame, all that. But no, the fact that people were like he should lose his job and all this type of stuff. Did you guys see the catch this brother made over the middle and broke like 19 tackles and got the ball inside the 10-yard line? And he carried the rock too, 21 carries last night. Donovan said, I stuck with him. I stuck with him. The fans, goodness gracious. We got to be better, guys. Keontae deserved our support, and I think most of us have stuck with him and, have said, let's see how he responds. And this whole thing about who should get more touches or who should start and all this type of stuff. You need multiple running backs in our offense and around most of college football. Unless you got a Jonathan Taylor or somebody like that out there, you're going to need multiple backs, right? You're going to need multiple people to get somewhere to between 10 to 15 touches. As long as you're consistent and you're protecting the football. Look at last year when we had Trey Watson and Keontae Ingram. So we need that consistency. We got to chill on some of that stuff. And the brother wasn't even 100% healthy. Jordan Whittington's role when he comes back. That's a good question. And I think when you look at Jordan Whittington, they're going to have to take it slow. Initially, I thought he'd be back probably by the OU game. Probably going to take a little longer considering it's the second time he's had surgery. But they have to be patient and slow play Jordan Whittington. But now, honestly, they can be as creative as they want when he does return, because he also is a guy that can play, he's versatile and can play different positions. I think Daniel Young will get a lot of work against West Virginia. I think we'll see more Daniel Young. I can't speak on Kirko. I don't know how much he'll play, just all things considered. But I do think we'll see some more Daniel Young against West Virginia. I think West Virginia is going to be a team where, if we go up there, handle it like a business trip, we should be able to get some guys in the game. Let's see. What else do we want to touch on? I really just wanted to drive home the point on the Keontae Ingram stuff, because I felt this even after the Rice game, people weren't all the way back on board. But, John Matthews said, how about that flea flicker? That was one of the Tom Herman specials right there. It was a great play call, very well designed, and getting Cade Brewer involved, who's done a very good job blocking this year, by the way. He hasn't had the impact downfield running seam routes like I thought he would, especially coming off his freshman year where he was a legit receiving threat. But to see him get involved, I was excited about that. And to Brandon Raven's point here, and I think Tom Herman commented on this as well, can we win when we don't play a football? How do we perform when we if not a again, if you're playing B plus football or C plus football, but you're giving A plus effort. Those are two different things. Effort and just some days you just roll out of bed. We all have had this happen. We go to work or something happens, and for whatever reason, it's just a crappy day. No, not that you're not giving the effort or the effort is lacking, but things just aren't clicking. Unexpected things pop up. It happens, and I think how this team is responding, the mental toughness of this team, the mental toughness of our captains. I was really impressed with the defensive line led by Malcolm Roach last night. So all those things, they're learning, and they're learning how to have that professional mindset and attitude. Taquan Graham was a lot better. I even saw Marquez Bimage flash. I know he got the penalty, but I like the aggression. Yeah, you look at Jay Witt and Roshan talking about guys that have converted, right? So, awesome job. Jake Smith, another week, another touchdown. Everybody's confident in Jordan Shipley. And you see it. You see it there with the hands and the consistency. I actually think he has the physical ability. It can be even greater than what we saw with sorry, my wife's running something in the bathroom right there, so sorry for the faucet. But as a receiver, and he's a freshman, and I knew it. I knew once I brought up Jake Smith, we were going to go to the punt return fumbles. So let's just jump into it. Is what it is with Jake Smith. You got to field the punt. He muffed it. It happens. I just want to see how he mentally responds moving forward. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's just understanding the situation, trying to put football games away. You have to, and the other thing too is like when that happened, I was screaming to Tran like, hey, why aren't we going punt safe? And then we do go punt safe with Brandon Jones, and horrible lapse of judgment, and we end up fumbling, where he should not have even attempted to field the ball, in my opinion. So, it is what it is. Yeah, we're going over Oklahoma State. Welcome, man. Welcome. Shouldn't have fielded the football. Just, and the reason why we're more upset with Brandon Jones, he's punt safe, whereas Jake Smith is our normal punt return, very similar to what we were doing last year with Deshaun Jamison and Brandon Jones. But Brandon Jones, you can't be that aggressive when you're punt safe. I just need you to field the punt. I just need you to field, or make the decision. Either field the punt, or if the ball, however the trajectory is going, as long as we maintain possession and don't turn the football over, that's what I need in that situation. And they're gonna, and he should be hammered for that. Brennan Eagles, I don't know what our Peter situation is. We don't call Peter on punt. It was very obvious to me about that. Shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. Is Brennan Eagles the best receiver on the team? I think Devin Duvernay is the best receiver on the team. I think Brennan Eagles is the most talented receiver on the team. And that's saying a lot, because if you look at this wide receiving room, the fact that we can hum and our quarterback can throw for 4 touchdowns and Colin Johnson didn't play should tell you a lot about the depth in the wide receiver room. Devin Duvernay, another, 100-yard game, 12-plus catches. Brennan Eagle, right now, he's just not to me, the disappearing stuff, and I talked about this a little bit with Bill offline, he's just not getting enough opportunities because he was beating his man consistently. And I saw the same thing Bill did. He was beating his man consistently. He's got to get more opportunities because, let's be honest, when Sam has thrown to him, even on contested plays, he's coming up, not only coming up with the football, but he's breaking tackles. And that's why I keep calling him Baby Dez, because you're seeing that physical ability to just be a freaking playmaker. And Brennan Eagles is tremendous at that. And you look at I was just reading, catching up on there. Yeah, Duvernay. I mean, Duvernay he's been ready. He's been ready since freshman year. He's finally being showcased properly in this offense. Somebody mentioned Kennedy Lewis. Kennedy Lewis is another brother, number 84, who had that catch and run. I think it was 37-yard in the Rice game. Marcus Washington's very talented. This wide receiving room is very, very deep, guys. So, when brothers went down, John Burt, hey, man, I mean, right now they're really only using John Burt to stock block. And, he may get an occasional comeback route, but he's not being featured in this offense. He's not even being featured the way they feature Epps. They at least have stuff for Malcolm Epps and getting him to a point. Hey, can we get a... Goodness gracious. Sorry, the dog is going through some things right now. I don't know what's going on. Just reading through. Yeah, we have a ton of injuries right now. But when we look at our this roster, and one of the things we have to continue to develop is just the ability to have guys ready to play, and that's where the depth comes in. And you're seeing that in certain rooms, and others is tough. Yeah, Apollo was struggling there, guys. Sorry. Apollo's my dog, for those who don't know. He's singing dogs drinking water like he's about to die. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. The Jalen Green injury sounds very serious. I don't know if we've gotten any updates today. Somebody please chime in, but it's gotten pretty serious. Hey, Longhorn, we'll have to chat offline because I'm also streaming on YouTube, so it's not going to come through good if I do a dual stream. But if I do a dislocated shoulder, hey, Sanders is very talented, and he's going to be a problem as he gets more experience in the Big 12. I do think. Now, that's a good point about the Jalen Green injury. It doesn't happen without the muff punt, but that's football. That's football. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do to defend against those type of things. And for Jalen Green, the shoulders, him as a tackler, him engaging blocks on the perimeter, that's something that's tough. And his injury is going to be felt. If we don't have him for OU, which right now doesn't look good, that's going to be tough dealing with CD Lamb. Now, West Virginia has to be a business trip, but the opponent's not very good this year, in my opinion. So they have to go. They just have to handle their business. I do want to see Chris Adamore, number 11 on defense. I agree with him. We've been hearing good reports about Kenyatta Watson practice. So I do think we will see him in the West Virginia game. And if he can play in the game as well as they say he's playing in practice and handle some of the more simple man coverage assignments, very similar to what LSU is doing with Stingley, where they're just like, hey, guard that guy and don't think too much. I think we can get away with doing that with Kenyatta Watson because he's a physical freak. He has everything from a size, speed, quickness. He's just a freshman and he's young. But at this point, it's not like anybody else is crushing it at corner where he can't play. Let's talk about Juwan Mitchell. He's got to be our go-to linebacker in the middle moving forward, in my opinion. Not that, Deli or many other guys, even Jeffrey McCulloch, who's asked to play a little bit of a different role and is also helping out more from a pass rushing perspective as well and stocking the quarterback. But Juwan Mitchell, sideline to sideline coverage, was outstanding. And there's times where you just see the speed. And look, time speed versus game speed are two different things, guys. You see sometimes somebody can run a 4.4 or 4.3, but if they don't know where the hell they're going or they're unsure, they're not going to look fast. The reason why Juwan Mitchell looks fast on the field is because he knows what he's seeing and he's flying to the football. He's flying to contact. So you just it stands out. It stands out in the case of Juwan Mitchell. I think for right now, Roshan's definitely he's definitely got to hang around at running back, at least for the rest of the season. You evaluate different things in the offseason. You have to have a conversation with the young man about what he would like to also do moving forward. I think that matters, especially since you have Bijan Robinson coming in from Arizona. You know, the room's gonna get more depth. You're still gonna have Jordan Whittington, Ty Jordan, recent commit coming on board. So there'll be more help in the running back room. But how can you not look at Roschon Johnson and be just flat out blown away with how impressive he's been, and just being a team player? He's got to be one of the most well-liked people in the locker room just for the sacrifice he's made. Yes. So, Renee, good point on Tyler Owens. Tyler Owens, he's playing a lot of special teams right now, but, again, not seeing him practice every day, that, definitely could factor in because, yes, he's a track star, right? But if he can't diagnose things, he can't utilize his speed, and he'll be frozen. That's why Chris Brown looks fast. Chris Brown's not a speedster, but he looks fast and he's flying at the ball because he's a veteran. He knows what he's looking at. Estelle was very impressive. I think total he had almost 10 tackles and a pick. Looking at IG, I want to talk about. Yeah, I mean, Epps, as I said earlier, he's just addressing the Instagram comments. Epps has to learn how to use his body better, guys. I mean, just is what it is. He's especially when they moved him over from tight end. One of the things they wanted to see was him being that possession threat on the outside, and we're not getting that from him yet consistently. Delhi, I have seen Delhi having issues shedding blocks. He's just not able to diagnose stuff as quickly as Juwan Mitchell right now. Just bottom line. Chris Brown's been terrific every game this season, in my opinion. He's been really one of the unsung heroes. When I write down game notes, the other thing I want to touch on, I don't think we talked about the offensive line. I thought they were pretty solid. Zach Shackelford, especially in the run game, I thought we had a good day in terms of our run blocking, which helped get Keontae Ingram and Roschon Johnson into a groove. And the play calling helped too. Even somebody had brought up the 3rd and 9 earlier, but the bootleg that we did to close the game with Sam Ehlinger, him getting out, even on some of the design rough run stuff they've done. O-line's been playing very well, and I like how they've been able to get that push in the run game on critical downs. Everybody's high on Juwan Mitchell, as they should be. I'm getting some good feedback on Juwan Mitchell. Guys, the defensive line has stepped up the last 2 weeks. Let me just say that. The defensive line has really, really stepped up the last few weeks. Because you look at Coburn, who – Tom Herman, unsolicited, just loves talking about him, and you can see the impact he's having on his teammates. Ajomo had some good snaps. Marquez Bemidji, you're starting to see him flash a little bit. Taquan Graham, Malcolm Roach on the pick. I know Malcolm Roach didn't get to Sanders, but he was coming in, and they're doing a better job of getting pressure. And pressure is not just getting sacks and, blowing by your guy on the offensive line. It's also condensing the pocket and making it tight. And when you're playing a guy like a Spencer Sanders, who, all things considered, I think a lot of Texas fans put some respect on Spencer Sanders' name coming out, even though he didn't necessarily have like a touchdown pass or anything. But what he was able to do with his legs and the creativity he had, as well as some of the deep throws that he had, I think we did have a lot of respect for him. But we also did a good job of like actually exploiting somebody else's weaknesses, like understanding he's a one-read guy. Make the other guys beat us. Make Dylan Stoner beat us. Make what's this guy's name? Braden Thompson beat us, or C.J. Moore. and they couldn't. They couldn't beat us with those guys. And if it wasn't for blunders on our side, special teams, coaching mistakes, this is probably a 2, maybe even 3-score football game that we would have won by. Because yes, we won by 6, but the margin, if you watch the entire game, it wasn't even that close. And we were able to figure out a lot of those things. And I'm okay with giving up yards, but I've said all the time in the Big 12, you have to be good situationally defensively. They were very good situationally defensively, especially against Chuba. You could tell Chuba guys stayed in their lanes. Guys did a good job rallying to the football, which they have been doing a good job rallying to football, at least in the front 7 all season. But it was really impressive. And I said before I was worried about the tackling. They actually tackled very well, in my opinion. Sanders is, he's a crazy athlete, guys. He's going to be a problem next year. I agree. Play C-plus game and still won against a good football team. And a team that's had our number for a long time. Bend don't break defense in Big 12. Absolutely. And you just have to be good situationally. You have to get turnovers when the opportunities present themselves. Balls in the air, grab it. Balls on the ground, grab it. Creating opportunities wherever you can. Red zone defense was good. I don't know what they were trying to do with their fake field goal or if there was miscommunication there as well, but some of that stuff. But when you start to see teams start doing some of those things, you have right where you want them. I'm not high on Stearns. Stearns is having a little bit of a sophomore slump because if he was really, really not healthy, we would see him not even playing. So he's still healthy. Just having, he's struggling right now. Yeah, I agree about taking the points. I know the decision to go for it on 4th and 3. And my thing is, you have a great kicker. You have a great kicker in Cameron Dicker. Why not take advantage? Why not maximize that opportunity and continue to build momentum, take the points. Those are where I say sometimes the coaches get emotional. It's like when you're playing Madden and you're like, bruh, these dudes shouldn't be able to stop me and all this type of stuff. Bruh, it's Oklahoma State defense. Why are they holding us? Doesn't matter. You take the points, continue to progress, because eventually your quarterback and your team's going to get into a rhythm, into a run, and they're going to make a run. And Sam ultimately did that, right? 4 touchdown passes today. So we just have to keep mindful of that. I'm getting emotional and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a moronic comment. Again, I'm a RJ Young fan. I like his content, but for him to say we should fire our strength and conditioning coach, that's to me, that's ignorance. And he just may not be really familiar with the great things that Yancey McKnight has done and how he shaped this team. It's not. Look, some of the injuries. Like, what does Yancey McKnight have to do with Jordan Whittington's groin situation from high school or Kirko's previous injuries? A lot of these guys are having injury issues that are where there's pre-existing conditions, if that makes sense. So, I'm not gonna. I'm not going to go too much into that. Yeah, I saw the. What's your comment about the post-game press conference? Yeah, I don't understand blaming Yancey McKnight. It'd be different. Where I start to look at strength and conditioning coaches is if you start to see a bunch of players have the same injury, either at certain position groups or, you start to see a whole bunch of people have hamstring issues that didn't have hamstring issues before. Like when you make a comment like that, you really should do some research and really look into it before going into some of that stuff. Just my opinion. Just reading through. I didn't see Mike Gundy's post game presser. I should go look that up. I did not see Gundy's. All right. I like RJ. I mean, anybody that's passionate and covers their team. That's why you guys see I have. I don't hesitate to bring other fans on our channel. I just don't like trolls. I'm too old for that. I don't have time to go back and forth with trolls or fanboys that only see things out of their team colored lens and don't have a three-dimensional perspective on the game. I root for Texas, but I feel like one of the reasons why you guys, watch this channel and hopefully continue to watch is because we're presenting things in an objective opinion and making informed or sharing informed opinions about the team because we watch this team very closely and we love these kids and we root for them and we want to see our team have the most success possible. But I'm not going to blow smoke up people's asses just because they're my team. That's ridiculous. It's Troy, I think you're talking about, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Omari? The wide receiver is a bigger guy who flipped from A&M, recent recruit. He was an A&M guy and then flipped over to Texas. Oh, yeah, I was on the video board, I think around the third quarter. I was so locked into the game, I wasn't even really paying attention. Hey, guys, relax. Please relax. The dogs think somebody's at the door. Who's currently injured on our roster? We have go down the list, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. I agree, Rage Cactus. You can't blame the muff punt on. Yes, the next play led to that, but we can't. I mean, you can't look at situations like that. You really can't. This bye week is going to be really good for us. To settle down, to hopefully get some more guys back, and also for them to do a self audit of where they are through this first. We've played 4 games now, so the first third of the season. I was talking about Mary. But yeah, I mean, it's a big win for Texas in the regards of getting another big body guy. Because if you notice, they're recruiting different types of receivers. They're recruiting their route runner type guys. They recruit the slot guys, and then they recruit the big possession type guys. So, having versatility in the wide receiver room is another thing that's key. You look at the Kennedy Lewis kid, he just looks smooth when he's in the game on the outside. But then he has a very different body type from a Brennan Eagles, right? Who's just big, but he's explosive. So we have a lot of guys that just are able to complement each other. We did talk about the running backs. We did talk about the running backs earlier. I just saw another comment below that. Dogs' names, Lucy and Apollo. I have 2. But the health of the running backs, Jordan Whittington will eventually be back. Keontae Ingram looks healthier. He's probably as healthy as he has been. Damon, I think he's going to go Damon Demas, I think he's going to go to Alabama or LSU when it's all said and done. I don't think he's going to go to A&M. Or if he goes to A&M, he's going to leave. there's something afoot going on down, in College Station, and I'm not like a Texas A&M hater or anything. Again, I just gave the objective speech a few minutes ago, but when you look at what's going on with Jimbo Fisher and some of the things they have in recruiting, and how they lost to Auburn, and at what point for them as a program will they make that ascension? I talked about that earlier in the season in the video, so. Something to pay attention to, but it's a big gift for Texas for momentum, finishing strong. The last brother we got to work on is Keely Ringo, who will be taking his official visit here, and he has not committed. To as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't committed to Georgia either. So, something we have to pay attention to. Hey, what's up, Matt? Good to see you, brother. Let me go back over here. Devin Duvernay, we got to talk a little bit more about him, man. The productivity, the route running, the hands, he's just been outstanding. The run after catch, how we utilize him in the screen game, all the way across the board, Devin Duvernay has been outstanding. And those are guys, who we've all as fans have been waiting and wanting to see him break out, and wanting to see the productivity match the talent level that we all knew he had when he came over from Baylor. And for us to be seeing that, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Haynes King, well, we can talk about A&M a little bit later. I just touched on that. Haynes King's going to be that's a good recruit, but you shouldn't be losing wide receivers when you have the number one ranked quarterback either, in my opinion. Good question, Pete. They've actually been using Cade Brewer a lot as a blocker. Also, the other thing is they've left a lot of that real estate in the middle of the field to Devin Duvernay to give him a little bit more space to operate. There is room in the Tom Herman offense for the tight ends to be featured. We haven't seen Reese Laitow get featured in the past game really at all, except for like one little bootleg. But Cade Brewer really hasn't been utilized like that. We might see that later on in the season. We saw a little bit last year with Andrew Beck at times. So we know there's a functional component to that. But on third downs, if you look at Sam's head right now when he's reading the defense, he's going right to Devin Duvernay. Or then, and it's great because that H position is that slot position in our offense is where all the attention and all the focus goes. But to see, I would, moving on down the season, I would like to see our outside guys get some more opportunities as well, because Brent Eagles is winning on the outside. I'll tell you that right now. Shout out to Shane Buechele beating TCU, SMU, big win for them. I'm sorry about that, guys. I think the live chat's back up there. You guys still want Zachary Evans? I feel like I've personally moved on from him. What's good, Vanilla Bean? How you guys doing? And I appreciate everybody that's here. If I haven't said that already, or just everybody here in the chat. We have over 150 people between here and Instagram. So all you guys 150. I appreciate that. I did hear about Jevin Sneed. Very unfortunate news. Was found dead at the age of 32, believe here in Austin. So that is very, very unfortunate. For those of you who may not remember, Jevin Sneed was a quarterback here, a very highly touted quarterback that we had gotten to flip, I believe, from Florida back in like 06. And he was actually competing with Colt McCoy when Colt McCoy was a sophomore, and Jevin Sneed was it freshman or sophomore? One of those 2 years. It was a while ago, right? But Jevin Sneed was competing. Ultimately, Colt McCoy beats him out. It was like a low-key kind of quarterback competition going on. And Jevin Sneed ended up going to Ole Miss and having a pretty decent career over there, wrapping up in the SEC. But and then obviously Colt McCoy goes on to have the success that he had. But did hear about his death, and that's really, really tough. But John just threw up the horns yesterday. Connor. I think he's locked solid with Texas, to be honest with you. But I do see your point. A lot of other guys are active in recruiting and communicating uh, with other recruits. But I'm still the guy I still think that this staff is working on, and we all need to be working on, is Keely Ringo. Rank the Big 12 teams off the top of my head right now. Yeah, I would say right now you have to put OU number one, Texas two. Um, I'd probably say, I know TCU was recently ranked, but I still probably put TCU, Oklahoma State, 3-4. Baylor, to me, is gonna dip because they struggle with Rice, and we just saw that Rice team, and they're not very good. Texas Tech, they're gonna struggle because they're waiting on Alan Bowman. I personally don't think West Virginia is very good. And then you have Kansas, who Kansas had some good moments with Les already this year, but they also believe they lost to Coastal Carolina too. Y'all can correct me on that if I'm wrong on any of those games, but oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about K-State. K-State, I would actually put K-State ahead of TCU, but I need to see K-State play again before I put them ahead of. Because I think I do like Oklahoma State's team. You got K-State 3. But the good thing about our conference is everybody plays everybody, so we get to sort it out. I haven't liked what I've seen from Iowa State. Um, uh, Hopefully the stream didn't stop here. I think we're still going. Oh yeah, I'm just being honest. Matt said he thinks OSU is the third best team in the conference. Um, yeah, I do think it's OU, Texas, and then a drop. I totally agree with that. Um, TCU has to drop with what just happened. And then when you're looking at guys, is the stream still up? Because I'm getting some sort of arrow. Somebody let me know. Do you wish we ran an offense like OU or LSU? See, one of the things you got to factor in is, yes, it's like Star Wars watching OU and LSU, right? But you have to have the personnel, which I think we do. We could run an offense like that. I think we do. I think our personnel is on that level. But it's also being complimentary of your defense. You see, LSU allowed, I think, 38 points to Vanderbilt. And I've been telling LSU fans this, is elite as your defense is, when your offense is going at the pace. Did it freeze or is it back? Because I'm seeing a freeze on my side, but if we're good, y'all let me know. Appreciate it. But yeah, just answering the question from Instagram. When you run those type of offenses, it's hard to have the productivity on defense the way you want it to. So it's tough. Okay, appreciate it, guys. Everybody's saying it's back. Okay, appreciate it, Shep. Thank you. Yeah, I want to go for about 15 more minutes here. So anything else you guys want to discuss? I mean, it's bye week time. Really starting to evaluate the rest of the conference, the rest of college football too, right? We're still right there. I think we moved up to 11 because Michigan got smacked in the face by. That's what I'm saying, Santiago. The offense don't let the defense rest. Trust me, and people always wonder why OU's defense is always trash, man. That's a factor. Not saying that's the whole reason, but when you play at that tempo and you have the amount of snaps, it's a factor. I like the way I like how we design our offense, especially with the type of quarterback that we have. And this offense is the same offense that won at Ohio State a national championship against very formidable coaches. So I like what we're doing. Yeah, we're definitely going to make a bye week video. We'll get that out this week. I'm going to be going up to Dallas this weekend. So I want to get that video out before I leave. But we will be doing a bye week video where we will have more formal recap just after watching the tape again. Formal recap of Texas, Oklahoma State with Tran. And then we'll also touch on the first third of the season. That was a great play call, that run. That sealed it. I love that play call. There were some good play calls. I mean, I know I even hit on the coaching a little bit too, but I like that play, the Cade Brewer play. I like the play, the arrow or not, the flag route that Devin Duvernay ran out of the slot. I like that too. Well, it's hard to say on the corners. We're banged up right now. I do like Deshaun Jamison, to answer Anthony Bailey's question. I do like Deshaun Jamison's what I'm seeing in terms of his physicality. That impressed me. I think Josh Thompson is also another guy who's physical and hella fast, but he struggles a lot in coverage. And really, I don't know if nickel's going to be the long-term best spot for him. He struggles, to me, laterally and turning. So we've had to help these guys a lot more. The best natural corner we have right now is Jalen Green, but obviously with the sounds like dislocated shoulder, he may miss some time. I think Tyler Owens is going to be tough for him, man. The way Chris Adamora is playing. When you look at Adamora playing, you look at Estelle playing and how physical they are, and they've been good tacklers. You're gonna have to compete and earn your way onto the field. It can't just be but because you were a high-ranked recruit. I mean, we're seeing him play on special teams, but Chris Adamora has really impressed me. I agree. I am Brian, very smart player, and it's it's not rare, but you see guys that just have good instincts even when they're young. Chris Adamora is one of those guys to me. I did not see the Pitt one. No. What happened? I know we're already four games in. Zara said roll tide. Get out of here. Y'all better beat I hope LSU beats them for our sake. I think we will start to see Kenyatta Watson. If from the reports we've heard in practice, he's playing good. And he's arguably the most talented corner. Oh, Kobe Boyce actually did have some good plays. Who brought that up? Rage Cactus. It's a good point. Kobe Boyce did have some good plays. Uh, DB said, "Do you think 2020 is the natty year?" I hope so. Uh, it's you. I mean, we have to have that depth. Yes, I hope LSU beats Alabama because LSU beat Texas, and we need we need them to be good so our loss can be good. If that makes sense. Nah, I think 2020. But going back to DB's question, um, I need to see more depth in the trenches. I think Coburn and with the defensive linemen we have coming in this freshman class, if it's as good as if they can be good right away to provide depth, I think we can get there. That's the one thing I always look at because when you have that defensive line depth and when you have if the O line pretty much is going to be intact, um, then you can just maul people. People won't be able to keep up with you for 4 quarters. Um, I mean, Brew McCoy was legit sick. I don't know why we're trolling him on that, but he is. I know. I don't think he's practicing or playing football at all. I haven't paid much attention to it. I did hear he was better though, but I don't have. I don't have. I mean, he's a USC guy now. Best of luck to him, but I don't have a Brew McCoy update. Joe Wilbon just got passed by Moro Jomo. I mean, that's the short answer. I do want to go watch the Sunday night game. Who's winning? Since I'm talking to you guys, I'm missing football right now. But I love y'all, so I'm glad everybody's here. Yeah, Brandon Jones got to be smarter. He's got a captain, um, all that. Like he's got to be smarter. I hear you. I hear your frustration, man. I hear your frustration on Brew. 3-0 Rams. First or second quarter. Probably going to the second quarter. Yeah, Cowboys got the dub. We just actually recorded our Cowboys reaction video to the Dolphins, so that'll be coming out later tonight for those of you who are Cowboys fans and want to see the Cowboys content. All right, we'll go for a few more minutes. We're at the 52-minute mark, guys. Really appreciate everybody coming on and talking ball tonight. I know we got football on right now. I know we have Emmys on, but since I didn't do a video after the game last night because we went out to celebrate and have a good time, and I had somewhat lost my voice from yelling at the game, and so I wanted to just kind of settle down and be composed when talking to y'all. So, how'd y'all? We haven't talked much about Sam. How'd y'all? What's everybody's opinions on another 4 touchdown game? I think from a Heisman perspective, in terms of and national accolades, I think he's right there where he needs to be. Did have the first interception, which I need to go back and study more. But overall, like I'm really impressed. I was really impressed with how Sam managed the game yesterday, and he's putting up more numbers. He's been terrific to me. Curious to get everybody's thoughts. She said you got drunk last night. Be honest. Sam is elite. You do see the complete control. One of the things that he impressed me with, or continues to impress me with, is his decision making on third down. In games like this, look, Sam is especially on design runs. I have no problem with him utilizing his legs and trying to move the chains. No problem at all. As long as it's not overboard, especially every single week. But in certain situations, or if that's the adjustment where we have to go to some of our QB run stuff by design, I have no problem with it. So, Santiago, you said your Heisman race right now is Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence. How are we still having Trevor Lawrence this high up? I mean, I know his whole squad is ridiculous, and I'm not saying he's playing bad, but I'm just curious as to why you have him in your top five. I did see a lot of Alabama's game. I think they were playing Southern Miss. Tua looked sensational. Tua looks scary good right now. Catching up with the comments. They're flying right now. Yeah, somebody on Instagram was talking about their top five Heisman. My guy Santiago. Yeah, he said because they're the number one team in the country, which that's valid, but that doesn't mean you're a Heisman Trophy contender. I mean, I would actually argue that Travis Etienne, the running back, should deserve consideration over Trevor Lawrence. Also, did you not have Jalen Hurts in there because you don't like OU? Be honest. Oh, Sam's in the race, but I mean, I don't know. Right now the OU game's going to be a huge part of that. He's got to beat OU. Renee said, for being honest, Duvernay's ahead of Trevor Lawrence for the Heisman. That's funny. I wouldn't go that far, but he's adding another 12 catches. Jonathan Taylor, look, people need to start talking more about this brother at Wisconsin and what he's been able to do. And I know Wisconsin always churns out running backs, and they've done that, for years. I get that. But to be on pace for 6,000 rushing yards and only 3 seasons is insane to me. Absolutely insane. And the way he played against Michigan yesterday was he balled out. Trevor Lawrence, I agree with that. Trevor Lawrence isn't. He's as talented as anybody. I'm not a Trevor Lawrence hater at all. I can't see Mr. Sentiment's comment. I think you want to keep saying, but appreciate it. Nah, Devin's that dude. But yeah, right now, Jonathan Taylor definitely moved up for me after yesterday. I needed to see him do it against a big boy opponent. Now, we may look back at this and say Michigan was actually trash. We'll have to see how they play the rest of the year. And if Jim Harbaugh can figure out what the hell they're going to do about their offense. Michigan's offense is a mess right now. They even went to benching Shea. And it looked like Shea came back. You saw McCaffrey. It was tough. Biggest wide receiver disappointment. If you're talking about Texas, it's going to be, it has to be Colin Johnson thus far. And it's really just from the standpoint of the frustration and lack of productivity we've seen from him, considering how much we thought he would blow up. I thought he was going to have I know he doesn't play the same position as LJ, but that type of impact. And it's not like Colin's been, he's still been able to get pass interferences and other things, but it's tough. Looks like the IG has come to a close, but we'll share that one to the story. I'm also gonna have a couple guests on here in the next couple videos, just to mix some things up and get some other perspectives as well as I talk about. But maybe we did overhype CJ a little bit. I hope he can come back and just ball out and get drafted and do his thing. I'm still a CJ fan, but it's been tough. But I will say this: the team is moving right along. That offense is still churning out because the offensive line's good. We have a much better run game now. Again, I led a big part of this video talking about Keontae Ingram and many of you guys owing him an apology. Some people did, but overall, and then the emergence of a Brennan Eagles, the emergence of a Devin Duvernay, and all the guys that seemingly are ready to play when they come in. Even like we were talking about Kennedy Lewis last week, when we've seen some of these other guys get opportunity. So we don't have time to wait on guys anymore. That's where depth comes in. So if somebody falls off, there's other brothers ready to step up and carry the load. My wife said pause. Yeah, Instagram Live. It ran its course because I was on there for an hour. But I'm getting ready to jump off. I need to eat some dinner and I want to watch some more football. But yeah, I just wanted to chat about this game with you guys and go through everything we saw on Saturday night. But I know a lot of our live chat right now, we're nitpicking certain aspects of the game, as we should as fans. We're going in, we're diagnosing everything that happened, and we're assigning blame here. We're heaping praise here. But I just want to say, I'm excited for where this team is at. I think we were right on course, right on pace to be where we want to be, to win the Big 12. And that was our goal. The moment we left Arlington last year, and we're disappointed, that was the goal, was to come back and win. And it's probably going to be OU. Just looking, and I'm not trying to, because I think it was Tanner earlier who was talking about the gap between the top of the conference and everybody else. And I think you're going to see that this year in Big 12 play. I'm not trying to overlook anyone. I think we'll have some moments where things get a little edgy, sometimes of our own doing, like you saw last night. But even last night, you saw a gap. You saw a talent gap. Just like when we saw Texas LSU, I saw you guys talking about that earlier. Texas LSU, you didn't see a talent gap. Yes, I thought, and I still think LSU was a better football team, but I didn't see where it was like, wow, there's a disparity in terms of our physical ability versus theirs. You saw that at times last night, and I think you'll see that at times in conference play. Now, you won't see that in OU, and that's going to be all hands on deck again. But even this West Virginia game, I know, tough one, Morgantown. Don't want to fall into the trap games or anything like that. But our team's really talented. Team's really good. We didn't play well for big stretches of the game last night, and we were pretty freaking good. And we really could have put this thing, really could have had good margin. We didn't last night because of some mistakes, but I like what we have with our squad. I really, really do. Guys, I'm getting ready to wrap. But, just so appreciative of the support. We've had, I know we're at 96 right here on now, but so we had 150 in here the whole time, and it was pretty cool. Just to talk with you. All the feedback and you guys have asked me to be more interactive, and so that's exactly what we're trying to do. Stepping up the production, everything on the channel. Matthew's been a great help. So all of our produced content, everything, we're just stepping up our game. So I appreciate it. Jerome keeps asking what's for dinner. I don't know yet. I think I'm gonna have to run downstairs. DB, I love you too. Rage Cactus, what's for dinner? What are we doing for dinner, babe?
P. Terry's.
P. Terry's. If you guys haven't been to Austin, you should go check out Pete Terry's. Good. I'm going to Pete Terry's for dinner because my wife wants to go to Pete Terry's. So we about to head out and get some Pete Terry's. But guys, really appreciate everything. It's been awesome. Vanilla Bean has tweeted OU sucks so many times. It's hilarious. I think he's determined to have it all back. Trans at home. Trans going to be back on the next video. We had a blast yesterday. All right, guys. I'm out. Horns always up.